Heyo! It's me, Harper Savage, and today I'm going to be testing out these 3 inks. Inktober is just around the corner, and I figured I would give some inks a try. I'm familiar with this Bombay Black India ink, as I'm sure most of you are. If you clicked onto this video, you have some interest in the ink. This is probably the one you've seen. But recently I discovered that there are more of the Dr. P.H. Martins. And one is matte, called Black Star Waterproof India Ink Matte, and the other is HiCarb, and this one also says Black Star Waterproof India Ink. Now I'm interested in the waterproof part. I want to see if it really is waterproof because I'm familiar with how this one on the end here works, but I don't know how these two work and if they really are waterproof. So we're gonna give that a try now. Okay, so as you can see I have my giant clipboard here to help protect my desk mat, even though it's already stained. But those are stains I'm pretty sure I can get out. I don't think I'll be able to get out the India ink. I have a cheap paintbrush here. It kind of looks like a makeup brush, but it was advertised as an art brush, so I'm just gonna pretend it's an art brush, okay? And I have a glass dip pen here. They both kind of have like the same like cool water effect thing. Just pure coincidence. I just didn't want to ruin a good brush, and this is just the first dip pen I grabbed. I have 2 waters here. This is going to be the cleaning water, and this is going to be the I don't know, another water. I have my inks lined up over here. For reference, this is the OG Bombay black ink. This is the matte one, and this is the HiCarb one. Now let's get started on testing them out. I'm just gonna dip them directly on here to test them out. I'm gonna make like 2 marks for each because I want to have one to see how opaque the color is and one to see if it really is waterproof. I'm gonna spread them out. This, by the way, is just a Canson mixed media, so it is smooth, and I think the ink goes on it very nicely. I have used it before for inks. I also have a cloth towel in my lap here too, so I can fully clean my brush in between inks. Now while those splotches are drying, I'm going to go ahead and use my dip pen to see how the ink flows out. I'm only putting it on the tip here because I don't want to waste too much ink on just a couple of marks. Very nice, very nice. What I'm used to. So far, they all feel about the same going down with the glass dip pen. Alright, so this one doesn't seem like it's quite dry yet. Weird. This is the Bombay one, this is the matte one, and this is the HiCarb one. Now, I might actually take a light to these, because they all look the same right now. Alright, let's see, let's see. They look about the same for that wet one. I'm not actually sure what this HiCarb means, so let me look that up real quick. So HiCarb is a gloss finish ink with extremely high carbon content, best when used to acetate where density and line integrity are most important. It produces excellent results when used with technical pens or calligraphy dip pens. Okay. So it's supposed to have a gloss finish. And I guess it shows through better when you put stuff over top of it? Is that what I'm understanding here? So, to me, let me lean it towards myself here so I can get a better look at it. It doesn't look any different than the other ones. to be honest here. This one is still not dry. I don't know what that's about. I think maybe the pen, like where it came out of the pen, it's a little bit more glossy than the others. Just a little, not a whole lot. You can really, I don't know if there's like sparkles in this one. I don't know what happened here. I don't know if that's a part of it or what, because there's not sparkles in the other swatch here. Well, we're now going to try to see how waterproof they really are. And go ahead, get some clean water here. And go ahead and see if these are waterproof. Oop. I went over the pen mark. I don't know. Let me get a different brush. Maybe my brush is just too dirty. All right, I'm gonna show you guys that this is dry by pressing my hands on it. And nothing's on my fingers, okay? I promise. I mean, they look a little red right now, but that's because they're fingers. I have a new brush here, cleaner. At least it doesn't have ink on it yet. I'm gonna swatch this part. I meant to swatch this to begin with, but I don't know where my brain went there. So let's get some water on it. Okay. Well, I'm thinking my brush was dirty. Alright, and here's the matte one that is also waterproof, supposedly. And for the sake of consistency, I'm gonna go ahead and do this spot as well to see maybe if it's in thinner lines like this that it doesn't dry faster and creates marks. Just a fuzzball, I think. No, I'm gonna say my brush was just dirty. My bad, my bad. Alright, here's the Bombay one. Me scrub? I'm getting a little bit if I scrub here, but it's not like not super bad. Like there's a little bit of gray to it. Like there's a little bit of gray to this one too, but it's like not noticeable. Again, we're ignoring this one. This one didn't happen. So I will say that these two splotches are more gray than the other ones. But we're gonna go ahead and wait for it to dry to see how gray it actually turns out. Alright, so while I was waiting for everything else to dry, I decided to go ahead and make a new HiCarb scribbly spot to show you guys that it hopefully won't bleed. Alright, there we go. No bleed. Still waterproof. Now we have to wait even longer. Okay, now that these are all dry, we can actually see that there is a clear difference between these two and these down here. This has gray around it. And I can see in real life that there's a tiny bit of gray around these ones. Ignore that one. But it is not as drastic as these two. So we're gonna take all this knowledge and actually test it out in an art piece. So what I decided what I'm going to be doing is matte on one side and HiCarb on the other, and I'll use the regular Bombay for just like little details around him. As you can see, I drew Chi here because he's a black and white cat and we're using black ink, so I think it's perfect. I'm going to be using my glass dip pen here, and I'm gonna start off with the matte. First, I'm gonna get a palette out so I can set this down. Now, I'm already gonna tell you that I'm not good at doing symmetrical stuff unless it's digital art. or there's a fancy tool involved to make everything symmetrical. So it might look a little wonky. I'm gonna try to use up the rest of this ink here and just color in. I'm gonna go in with the high carb side now. Yeah, the eyes are a little wonky, but you know, we'll deal with it. Alright, and now we're gonna go with the OG Bombay here. Let's do some shapes around him. And now I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit here. Alright, it's almost dry here. There's like a couple of wet spots, but I'm gonna erase in the dry areas and see how it erases. Because sometimes when you erase, the ink kind of gets lighter. And so far, so good. Alright. I know my eyes are a little janky here, but that's okay because this is just us testing out some products here. It looks like none of them got a little bit lighter after I erased it. I did minimal erasing though, so I don't know if like going ham would make any difference. But I am curious to see how the two waterproof ones are going to react with the colored inks. So I'm going to be using some colors here because Chee's eyes are not white. I'm going to be using the Bombay yellow and maybe a little bit of this orange. His eyes are between like yellowy green and yellow right now. Or usually, I don't know. When we adopted him, his eyes were a bit more on the orange side, but anyways. I'm going to be using the yellow mostly. And I'm going to fill in his eyes. Now I am using a clean brush here. It doesn't look clean, but it is. Okay, that was the matte side. This is the high carbon side. I'm probably gonna do some more tests here and like overlap colors. Because this one's supposed to, I think, show up better than like this one. If I put layers on top of it. Oh, that's super orange. Maybe too orange. trying to pop the bubbles because they do dry in the ink as bubbles. Okay, now I'm gonna lay some colors over the regular Bombay one. And it is picking up some of the ink and making it super gray. I'm gonna take some water here. Do some splatter. Just some more decoration going on here. This is mostly dry now. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this around. I personally don't see a difference between the two blacks. Between the matte and the HiCarb with their finish. I think they're about the same amount of shiny. Now, the colors are super shiny for some reason. That's where you're seeing the shine, is because some of the color is overlapping the black spots, which I had intended to do. I don't know if, like, maybe I was misunderstanding the description, but I don't actually think that it's different in showing up underneath layers either. This side does look a little bit lighter than this side underneath the ink, but I don't think it's enough of a difference for me to say you should get this one over this one. I do, however, feel like if you want to get inks and you plan on using a wet medium with them, you should probably get the matte or the HiCarb and not the regular Bombay, because this one will smudge. Even though it says on the bottle it's light fast and waterproof, it definitely did smudge. Like, over here, the orange and the yellow are not pure. And here as well, like wherever I painted over the stars, it definitely did bleed a little. Now, because I thought it was crazy, and I swear I read that the HiCarb is supposed to have a gloss finish, that it does say that, like in its description, but some of the reviews are saying that, oh, it's matte. And I do see that it is matte. Or at least satin, but both of them kind of look like that. So that's where I'm a little bit confused as to what the real differences are between these. And reviews have also said that the HiCarb is supposed to be like super like opaque and like super black. And I don't see a difference. I personally do not see a difference. But I don't know, maybe I did something wrong here, but they don't look any different to me. Their shines don't look different and their opaqueness don't look different, but this one does bleed a little bit compared to the other two. So these two are about the same price. If you want to pick one up, it doesn't matter which, in my opinion. But yeah, that is gonna be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to do all the cool YouTubey things of comment, liking, and subscribing. And I will see you again in the next video. Bye bye!